There is a specific series of quarters floating around the United States right now that are worth significantly more than 25 cents. Some are worth hundreds. A select few, in perfect condition, have broken the $1,000 barrier. You are not looking for ancient silver from the 19th century. You are looking for modern coins, struck within the last few years, that look almost identical to the regular quarters in your jar. The difference comes down to a single letter or a microscopic mistake made by the United States Mint. Welcome to the appraisal. I am the Curator. Today, we are conducting a forensic analysis of the 10 rarest, most valuable America the Beautiful quarters. We are going to cover the famous W mint mark rarities and the specific die errors that technical collectors are fighting to own. I will tell you exactly where to look. I will tell you exactly what the market is paying. 2020 W National Park of American Samoa. We begin with the absolute heavyweight of the modern era. This is the coin that ignited a firestorm in the collecting community. It is widely known as the bat quarter because of the fruit bat mother and pup on the reverse. But you are not looking for the standard coin. You are looking for the V75 variety struck at West Point, the Diagnostic. Pick up the coin and hold it by the edges. Do not touch the face. Turn it to the obverse, the side with George Washington. First, look at the bottom right side of the coin, near the ponytail. You need to find the letter W. Most quarters have a P for Philadelphia or a D for Denver. If you see a P or a D, spend it. It is face value. You must see the W. But for the 2020 series, there is a second, critical diagnostic. Look to the left of the W mint mark. You are looking for a special Privy Mark stamped into the metal. It is shaped like the rainbow pool of the World War II memorial. Inside that shape, you will see the characters V75. This mark commemorates the 75-year anniversary of the end of World War II. It is unique to the 2020 W quarters. The tell. The difference between a $10 coin and a $400 coin is the cheek of George Washington. This is the high point of the coin. Because these quarters were shipped in bulk bags, they smashed against each other during transport. Take a magnifying loupe. Look at the cheekbone. If it is covered in scratches, scuffs, or bag marks, you have a circulated specimen. If that cheek is frosty, smooth, and unbroken, you have a high-grade gem. The valuation. Let us talk about money. If you find a 2020 W bat quarter in your change today, and it looks used, it is worth roughly $10 to $15. However, the market for mint state examples is aggressive. A specimen graded mint state 65 is currently trading around $30 to $40. If you have a pristine copy, graded mint state 67, the price skyrockets. Recent auction data shows these selling for over $400. There are even recorded sales of perfect examples approaching $800 or more, depending on the buyer. 2019 W Lowell National Historical Park. The 2019 Lowell quarter is historic. Before this coin was released, the West Point Mint had never struck a quarter for circulation. This was the first time in history a W appeared on a quarter in your pocket change. The tell. On the Lowell quarter, you must look at the fields, the flat, empty spaces on the coin. On the reverse, look at the empty space above the loom in the window. Because this was the first release, many people found them and immediately put them in their pockets. They did not handle them with care. Friction from a pocket destroys the cartwheel luster, that spinning shine you see when you tilt a new coin under a light. If the shine is flat or gray, it is a lower grade coin. You want to see that light dance. The valuation. Because this was the first release of the Great American Coin Hunt, they were plucked from circulation very quickly. A standard circulated example is worth $10 to $20. In mint state 65, the value rises to roughly $40. If you find a top pop or top population coin in mint state 67, the value sits comfortably between $300 and $400. The context. Collectors hoard the first of anything. Just as the first Lincoln cent is iconic, the first W quarter carries a historical weight that keeps the price stable, even years after the release. 2015 P. Homestead National Monument. We are going to shift gears. We are moving away from mint marks and looking for a major error. This is one of the most significant double die errors of the entire 21st century. The diagnostic. This is the double die reverse. You are looking for the Homestead quarter, specifically the one minted in Philadelphia. Look for the P mint mark. Turn to the reverse. You will see a log cabin, a water pump, and corn stalks. You need magnification for this. 10 power magnification is recommended. Focus your lens exclusively on the window of the log cabin and the pump handle. On the variety known as WDDR004, look at the water pump handle. You will see a clear, distinct separation. It will look like there are two handles, one slightly below the other. Next, look at the window logs. On the variety known as the snow-on roof, you will see extra, jagged metal sitting on the window sills. It looks like snowdrifts. This is actually part of the design that was duplicated during the hubbing process. The tell. Do not confuse this with machine doubling. Machine doubling looks flat and shelf-like, as if the metal was smeared. A true double die, which is what we are looking for here, will have rounded, distinct images. The extra pump handle should look just as 3D as the real one. The valuation. A normal 2015 Homestead quarter is worth 25 cents. A verified double die reverse in circulated condition is worth $20 to $30. If you find one in mint state, the price jumps to between $50 and $100. There is a specific variety of this error involving a die chip on the bucket, nicknamed the leaking bucket. While interesting, it is less valuable, trading for $5 to $10. Stick to the doubled pump handle for the real money. 2019 W San Antonio Missions. This is one of the most beautiful designs in the series, featuring the arches of the mission and the heraldic eagle. But we're looking for a specific combination of rarity and error. The diagnostic first. You must secure the W mint mark. Without the W, the coin is just a spender. Once you have a 2019 W San Antonio, you need to check for a specific die break. This is known in the community as the spitting eagle or speared eagle. Look at the eagle on the reverse. You are looking for a raised line of metal, a die crack, that runs from the eagle's beak or through the eagle's wing. The tell. The surfaces of the San Antonio quarter are vast and open. There is a lot of empty space in the design. This makes the coin unforgiving. Any contact with another coin leaves a mark. To appraise this coin, tilt it under a lamp. Look at the smooth fields inside the arches. If those fields are mirrored and free of tiny chatter marks, you have a premium specimen. The valuation A. Standard circulated 2019 W San Antonio is worth the baseline $10 to $20. However, this specific quarter is notoriously difficult to find in high grade. A mint state 67 example is currently valued higher than most others in the 2019 series, often fetching between $250 and $350. If you find a W quarter that also has the die crack error, you have a dual rarity. While sales data is sporadic, such a coin commands a premium above the standard book value. 2020 W. Marsh Billings Rockefeller. This coin features a young girl planting a Norway spruce tree. It is a complex design that hides wear well, which makes grading it very tricky. The Diagnostic verify the W mint mark and the V75 Privy Mark on the obverse. On the reverse, look at the branches of the spruce tree. The design is intricate. However, the error to look for here is a die crack, often found near the rim or running through the lettering. More importantly, look for the ghost effect. Due to the high pressure used to strike these coins, sometimes the design from the reverse, the tree, transfers faintly to the obverse, Washington's face. This is called die clash. The tell. The real secret to this coin is the strike. Many of these quarters were struck weakly. Look at the detail in the girl's hair and the needles of the tree. On a weak strike, the hair looks like a solid blob of metal. On a full strike, you can see individual strands. Collectors pay a premium for the full strike. The valuation. In circulated condition, $10 to $15. In mint state 65, $30 to $40. In mint state 67 with a full strike, this is a rare bird. Valuations currently sit between $350 and $450. 2016 P. Harper's Ferry National Historical Park. We return to the Philadelphia Mint for a classic text error. This is a double die obverse, meaning the error is on George Washington's side. The diagnostic. You do not need to flip this coin over. Look strictly at the text, "In God We Trust," and the date, 2016. You are looking for split serifs. A serif is the small decorative line at the end of a letter's stroke. On the letter R in trust, look at the bottom legs. You should see a notch or a split at the very bottom corner. Look at the date, 2016. Look at the number 6. You will see doubling on the inner loop of the 6. The tell. This is a very specific diagnostic. You must see the notch. If the letter just looks fat or thick, it is likely simple die deterioration, which is worthless. You must see the separation line where the second impression occurred. The valuation. This is a coin for the specialist. You likely will not find this in a general price guide, but error collectors hunt it. In mint state 65, this coin trades for $40 to $60. If you find a pristine example in mint state 67, the value can exceed $150. 2019 W River of No Return. This quarter features a drift boat navigating a river. The name of the wilderness is River of No Return, which is fitting because once this coin enters circulation, it rarely returns in good condition. The diagnostic. Locate the W mint mark. The diagnostic here focuses on the finning of the rim. Because of the high striking pressure used at West Point, many of these coins have a very sharp, high-wire rim. Be careful handling it. On the reverse, look at the trees in the background. You are checking for die chips. These look like small blobs of raised metal, often found in the tree line or near the boat. While minor, they confirm the die state. The valuation, circulated condition, $10 to $20. Mint state 66, roughly $75. Mint state 67. These are becoming harder to find. Prices are currently hovering around $300. 2013 P. Fort McHenry National Monument. We are going back to 2013 for a very specific, visually stunning error. This is known as the fireworks doubled die. The diagnostic. The reverse of this coin shows the fort with fireworks exploding overhead. You are looking for a doubled die reverse. Focus your loop on the fireworks themselves. On the error variety, the doubling is extremely evident on the spiral bursts of the fireworks. It will look like there are extra lines or ghost explosions, slightly offset from the main design. You should also check the text, Fort McHenry. You may see doubling on the lettering, specifically on the F and the O. The tell. The doubling must be rotational. Because the fireworks are circular, the doubling often manifests as a slight clockwise rotation. It is very subtle, so you need good lighting. The valuation. This is a lower value error compared to the W quarters, but it is a cherry picker's dream because you can find it in standard rolls. In Mint State 65, this error is worth approximately $30 to $50. It is rare to find these in Mint State 67 because the 2013 coins have been circulating for over a decade. If you do, it is a $100 coin. 2020 W, Salt River Bay. This coin features a red mangrove forest. It is arguably the most difficult coin to grade in the 2020 series because the design is so cluttered. The Diagnostic confirmed the W mint mark and V75 Privy. On the reverse, you are looking at the roots of the mangrove trees. The design is a tangle of lines. The error to hunt for here is a dye chip in the leaves. Some collectors have found small blobs of metal that look like coconuts or extra fruit in the trees. These are minor errors, but they add character. The tell. The tell is the rim. For some reason, Salt River Bay quarters often suffer from weak rims. If the rim is not fully formed, the coin will not grade a 67. You want a coin where the rim is sharp, squared off, and distinct. This frames the coin and protects the design. The valuation. Circulated, $10 to $15. Mint State 65, $30. Mint State 67. Because high-quality rims are rare, a perfect specimen commands between $300 and $400. 2020 W, Tallgrass Prairie. We conclude with the Tallgrass Prairie quarter. This coin features a regal fritillary butterfly. It is beautiful, but it is a nightmare to strike correctly. The diagnostic check for the W and V75. Your entire focus must be on the butterfly on the reverse. This is the highest point of the coin. It is the first thing to hit the inside of a canvas bag and the first thing to wear down in a pocket. The tell. You are looking for full wings. Take your loupe. Look at the pattern on the butterfly's wings. You should see distinct spots and lines. If the center of the wing is smooth or flat, it is a weak strike or it is worn. To get the top dollar, you need a butterfly that looks like it is about to fly off the coin. The detail must be razor sharp. The valuation. This is the final hurdle for the 2020 collector. Circulated examples, $10 to $15. Mint State 65, $30 to $40. Mint State 67, this is the prize. Because the butterfly is so easily damaged, a pristine 67 is rare. Prices range from $350 to $450. The America the Beautiful series is not just a collection of pretty pictures, it is a minefield of potential value. If you remember nothing else, remember the rule of the W. The West Point mint mark turns a common coin into a collector's item. If you see the V75 Privy Mark, you are holding a piece of World War II commemoration that is highly liquid in today's market. But do not ignore the Philadelphia and Denver coins. The doubled dies on the Homestead, Harper's Ferry, and Fort McHenry quarters prove that errors are still out there, waiting in rolls from the bank. A final warning. Condition is everything. Do not clean your coins. Do not rub them to make them shiny. The moment you clean a coin, you strip the original mint surface, and you destroy 90% of the value. A dirty $40 coin is better than a shiny $1 coin. This is Coin Expert USA. Let's discover what's in your pocket.